That also includes Spring Ball, by the way, for
It
those of you
does
keeping
indeed.
track at home.
Yeah. So some of the more interesting locations that now aren't really important, the wreck ship reserve tank, the
Sand pit,
uh,
the
sand pit, yeah, the
well, the
hated
where
sand pit.
the reserve tank, in old school, there would be a reserve tank location in left sand pit, but that's just the Chozo ball. So you're not counting Chozo balls, just the statues.
Yep,
Okay, so like
exactly.
Edikun power bombs would be in a ball, but there's no statue.
Right. Now keep in mind, when we say major
Gravity's
items.
suit is doesn't have a statue, but
Nope, it doesn't.
actually,
But
bowling missiles does have a statue.
yep, there is a statue
But it's
right there.
not really. It's power bomb blocks disguised as a statue.
All that too, but it counts.
Okay.
Uh,
But there's not going to be any reason to shy away from wreck ship without speed booster in this case.
right, but now there's only 3 locations that you can get major items. Now keep in mind the, energy tanks, the rest of the energy tanks, so you get 3 energy tanks and 1 reserve tank in the Chozo locations. But there are also gonna be energy tanks and reserve tanks sprinkled in with the non-Chozo locations, along with ammo.
Now, is this item distribution intended to be faster, slower, more difficult? What's the philosophy, or
I
just
think
different?
well, so certainly is different, but I think the idea is to make it a little bit faster because the idea is that if you just go to all the Chozo locations, you're gonna get everything you need,
Gotcha. Including charge beam.
including charge food, yeah.
But that also means going to spring ball.
Yes, it does.
So you said there are 25 locations, and that was every major item
Yes,
plus.
plus 3 E-tanks, 2 missiles, 2 supers, 1 power bomb pack, 3 E-tanks, and 1 reserve. Essentially what you would get with the exception of the extra reserve tank, it's essentially what
Okay.
you would get to beat the game in any
So
percent.
that pool of items is put into these 25 locations.
Yep.
Okay.
I should say bare minimum to absolutely beat the game because in an any percent run, you'd get 20 missiles, whereas, this is more of a low percent,
Yeah, low percent you would go 10-10, whereas any percent you'd go anywhere from 15-10 to 20-10, 25-10.
yeah, exactly.
Enough missile packs on the way that you can pick up extras. So this is not one of those 25 items here, but
Nope.
it's still a check. So that would in the old what we're currently doing the first 4 weeks of randomizer, the major minor split. This would actually be a minor location, and an E
Yep.
tank turned up there.
Yep, an
So
E-tank is not really a major item in this setup because, I mean,
okay, only
kind
the
of the dis
3 E tanks that are designated in those spots.
right.
Okay.
So we've already seen the power bomb at first missiles, so that's that. So all the rest of the power bombs will be in the non-Chozo locations.
Oh, okay. So if, say, for whatever reason, I wanted to get 15 power bombs, I don't know why I would want 15 power bombs, but I would only be able to get one from a Chozo location, and then the other two
Right.
would be in minor location. Okay.
Exactly.
Hey, maybe this item set, if you get that early power bomb pack, will be more likely to give you more power bomb packs. I don't know.
Maybe. We do see that two power bombs have been picked up by several of the runners since we got one at Old Mother Brain. So
Yeah.
for those runners, they can already go to Gauntlet.
Yeah,
And
we have
Solski.
Solski and Maisgueuh heading over to the 230
So this
missile.
could be a major item. It's a 230 missiles. It's a Chozo statue, and there you have it. It's grapple beam.
Ah. What about morph bombs? That's by a Teresa.
Yep,
Does that count?
that does count. So the Bomb Teresa location is still going to be a major item.
Yeah. What about GT supers?
No, just a screw attack.
Okay. But if you think about it, the gold Teresa is holding the super missile pack before you run under him and get him to spawn, right?
Yep, that could be an E-tank, but it can't be a major item.
Right. It could be one of the 11 E-tanks. Oh, baby.
Ooh, your favorite, high jump boots.
You want to give us a little rundown on who's on the restream today?
Yeah, so we got four entrants in the lead. We got Solski, Pizza, Maisgueuh, and Zeb. All very solid runners. Actually, only Maisgueuh was in the first season. The other 3 joined for the second season. Solski, in particular, comes to us from the crossover randomizers. Are very accomplished in the SMZ3 community.
Yeah. And with 2 power bomb packs, they'll be able to check the gauntlet item safely, which would be a Chozo item. There's a Chozo statue holding an energy tank there.
It looks like Magoo is going to go up there even though he only has 5 power bombs and not enough to get out. Solski has 10. He'll be able to get in. The other 3 can all get in and out if they want to.
Yeah, and they can go out the
Chozo-
back way and maybe pick up an extra E-tank or super missiles or whatever.
Yeah, we haven't seen any supers yet, so this could be an important check to get those supers.
Yeah, and shout outs to our tracker Lunaris, who you might have heard of because he's been working really hard on the Super Metroid bingo lately. But he wants you to tell me how heck run logic works.
Yeah, I'll talk about the hell runs. So the hell runs are a little bit different here. In order for hell runs to be in logic, now when I say in logic, that does not mean they can't do them anyway. They do need to find 3 E-tanks on Chozo statues, and that would put the hell runs in logic. But if a hell run needs to happen, there will be an E-tank, at least one, available elsewhere. Because in the normal major-minor split, it takes 4 E-tanks to put the hell run to Bubble Mountain in logic. Of course, for some of the smaller hell runs where you only need 1 or 2, this doesn't really apply.
Ooh, Ice Beam. That's not good news for Maisgueuh.
Yeah, he's not gonna be. Yeah, he can't get out. He needs 3 power bombs, I believe, to get out. Not.
Yeah, I hope I guess he's saved. He figured it. Already realized. Solski is gonna continue through. Did Solski not get a single energy tank?
I don't believe he did. He must.
Well, he wishes he had.
But yeah, he must
yeah,
have skipped the ceiling item.
The knowledge of that ice beam though there is still valuable. So Solski, oh wow, that's 2 super packs. But they're in minor locations, so they're not the logical super missile pack. Is that correct? Okay.
I believe that's a good question. Actually, I'm not sure about that one. Looks like Solski's gonna go back to get his ice beam. I suspect Maisgueuh will pick up his ice beam on his way out when he goes towards Turian.
Yeah, it'll be worth picking him up. Well,
unless he doesn't find speed and needs it to get through Meridia.
Ooh, that would be rough. But do you really need speed or ice to get through Meridia?
Well, you don't.
So going.
You could also Crystal Flash Flip. I actually think Solski knows how to do that. I'm not sure about Maisgueuh.
Going back, well, Solski is getting the ice beam right now. Anyway, going back to the heck run. So you said you have to find all 3 major E tanks because there's 3 major E tanks and 11 minor E tanks. So all 3 major E tanks, and depending on your difficulty level, possibly a minor E tank as well.
Yeah.
For Bubble Mountain, I guess for Bubble Mountain.
I should say 3 or 4 since we have the reserve tank available as well. But
okay, that counts. Okay, 3 or 4.
But there will be another energy tank available somewhere in order to do those hell runs.
I think that's our first major missile pack. Since the first missile pack we had was behind a little eye googly. You know, the beta missiles, I guess. Alright, Solski makes it all the way through with 32 health, and he's gonna grab the super missile, so...
Yeah, it's a nice find to get those supers early.
Yeah.
You never know when you're gonna pick up that charge beam, and, going down to Ridley with not enough supers is very dangerous if you don't have charge beam. Or even if you do have charge beam, you have a very weak beam combo otherwise.
Solski should probably farm the beatums, but that's okay. He can farm the fire fleas too. Oh, actually, if he goes down the Edikuns, there's some beatums down there he can farm. We'll get like 8 or 9. Speaking of which, Pizza on the top right there is in big pink with only 1 power bomb.
Yeah.
But there are fewer locations to check. So I guess this E-tank behind the orange door.
Yeah, that's certain. Yeah, so I think there's actually the same amount because you gain Spore Spawn.
Right.
So the E-tank at the wave gate, the E-tank at the wave gate and the waterway E-tank, of course they can't check waterway anyway since they don't have speed booster.
Well.
But those are not Chozo locations. However, Spore Spawn is.
Okay. So the E-tank at the wave gate's not a Chozo. Oh.
Right.
So it's alright, so he just needs, but he's still gonna need 2 power bombs, 1 to get in, 1 to get out.
Oh, and he can't get out.
He's gonna have to farm red flies.
Yeah, and that can take some time because it's a very low. I think what a 2% drop rate on these
Yeah, but
guys.
you can at least, have 3 coming at him at a time as opposed to 1 at a time from
Yeah. Oh, and
outside.
plasma beam, and the main point being that it's not a soft lock.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
slow them down a bit. I
So
tend to
this
get. Oh, yeah. I personally tend to get a ton of power bombs from these guys unless I need one.
so
It's
does
gonna have.
this have the soft lock protection tiles and
Yep.
like the easy cathedral run? Okay.
Yep.
The map edits. Right, there is a lot of options on the Varia randomizer site, so I guess. Oh, Solski's first E-Tank. Was that a vanilla reserve at Brinstar?
Uh, the Brinstar Reserve was missiles.
Oh yeah, I remember. So I guess there's nothing. There aren't any major item locations at Edicoons at all.
Nope,
Huh.
not at all. 3 minor locations.
Just a Chozo ball and those statues.
It's like Solski's farming up some power bombs. He's gonna need them anyway, regardless of whether he goes down to the Edicoons or not. Maisgueuh and Pizza going for their. Okay, Maisgueuh ended up skipping this 4-spawn spot. Zeb is gonna get his plasma beam, which he'll be very happy about.
No, so this is going to be a little route divergence, I think, for a lot of runners. They might pop up here like Pizza's doing to get that Alpha Power Bomb location, even if they don't want to do wreck ship early.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So let's see if he goes to the Alpha Power Bombs and then goes up, or if he just chooses to leave.
And of course, X-Ray would be a good check here as well, since he's got Grapple Beam. But yeah, so wreck ship, it's just the boss prize in the reactor room. Ooh, Wave Beam.
Yeah, so there's 3 items in the wreck ship. There'll be the right side supers, which is like you said, we're calling that the boss prize. The E-tank location is a Chozo statue, and the missile location, past bowling. So the only real difference here is that you don't have to say, "Oh no, I don't have speed booster. I might, that speed booster location that is very worrisome is not an issue."
Yeah, and actually Maisgueuh went straight down Red Tower. He's going to forgo that Wave Beam for now, but we'll see what's at the X-Ray room. And it's a good thing we're starting to practice the Chozo runs now because
Yeah, well, that was the plan.
2 to 3 weeks we're gonna actually have them as our league races. So
Exactly.
we're gonna want to have some practice. We got a nice little detached wing from the Key Hunter on Pizzas.
Always fun when that happens.
Yeah, I guess okay. So you can get that power bomb, their super missile pack on the way out if he wants. Maybe he'll hope to find charge beam first. So that later. So is there a greater likelihood of finding charge beam, do you think? How many of these seeds have you watched so far?
I've played a handful of them. I think it's a slightly greater look. Well, first of all, since there's 25 spots instead, I guess what was it, 34 spots for charge beam to be. I think that in itself makes it greater likelihood. Also, I'd be more inclined to search for charge beam
It's
in
a
those
nice
locations.
red tower climb from Maisgueuh. So he actually just popped down. He did the opposite of what I would have probably done. He went to the X-ray and then went up red tower instead of going to the alpha peeps and down.
Right. So what I'm thinking is that if I were to be towards the end, there's always that decision process. At what point do you switch to looking for miners over looking for charge beam? And with the smaller number of charge beam locations combined with the fact that not every miner item is now going to be ammo, and you don't have that 5 out of 6 chance it's going to be a projectile ammo, it might be more beneficial to search a little harder for that charge beam. But we'll see. I'm not sure how that's going to end up playing out once we actually play a bunch of these seeds.
Yeah, that's a good point. How many times have you been looking for your last super missile pack and it's just missiles or just power bombs?
Yep.
Well, now it can also be an E-tank.
Right.
Or a reserve tank.
On the other hand, if Shack Tool is your major location, you might not want to go there.
So, is Spazer a major item?
Yep, that is also a Chozo.
That's in the
Zeb's
Chozo
going
pool.
there right now. Yep.
I meant not the location, the item. Well, hey, look
there's
we
charge
found.
beam for Zeb.
We're in go mode. sort of. He's
Well,
got 4
suits.
E-tanks. He can... Well, Varia suit. They have high jump. They have high jump, grapple, and ice. I mean, some of the more seasoned runners wouldn't shy away from just going straight into Meridia here. The problem, obviously, is the Varia suit. They're going to need that as protection against the heated rooms.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things that the Chozo randomizer does, there's actually very few Chozo locations in Meridia. So there are 2 versions. There's a level 1, I believe, and a level 2. The level 1 pretty much means that you're not going to see, you can't see suitless Meridian, which is a shame. It's one of the one of the less exciting aspects of this randomizer, because the 3 Chozo locations in Meridia are Shock Tool, Dragon, and Plasma Beam. However, in the
There's
playoffs,
the 3 worst ones.
Yeah, I know, right? In the playoffs, we're going to change to the level 2 logic, which allows for the suit for gravity suit to be at Dragon, but only at Dragon. So we might see some suitless Chozo seeds once we get to the
Interesting.
playoffs.
Why? Well, obviously you can't get. You have to do some really crazy shenanigans to get to Spring Ball without gravity. But I'm curious why gravity couldn't be at
I think not at
Plasma.
I
Is it
think
just because of escaping Dragon's
I
room?
think it's because of escaping Dragon's room. That'd be my guess.
It's level 2. They can grapple jump.
And yeah, and I'm figuring that by the time we get to the playoffs, we're gonna have those will be the runners that are gonna be perfectly comfortable getting out of Dragon's room, so they're more likely gonna take that chance of going in there.
Yeah. But that's pretty funny now that you mentioned the suitless level 1, suitless level 2. Oh, there's Varia suit at the I feel like that's always there. That's
Okay, if you're Pete, do you check the rest, or do you just leave?
There's no way I'm sticking around here with high jump, boost, ice, and grapple beam. If charge beam's up there, which it isn't, I'll just be like, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of funny because in major minor split, you could have suitless level 1 and you have a handful of locations. You've got the Batuni tank, Mama Turtle. But I mean, like in Chozo mode, level 1 is still level 1. It's just, it only grants you access to minor locations.
Yeah. So we'll probably see a lot fewer early Meridia plays, but on the other hand, it's not like you couldn't have Varia suit in all 3 of those locations.
Yeah,
So
Pizza's taking a save here, so he's at least going to check the E-Tank item. Now,
that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's more for sea garbage match for set. Varia suit and 2 E-Tanks is pretty darn good for getting through Spiky Death Room. If you K go through a platform, it's 100 damage, but the actual spikes are only 15 with Varia suit. He does pretty much the same strat through Spiky Death Room as I do. Just take the 2 quick jumps and then the little short hop. Alright, and Maisgueuh is finished up with Fantoon. He will soon be the proud owner of a Varia suit.
Ooh, and Zeb just checked Ice Beam, and I did not see what was there.
I missed it as well. Super's at Ice Beam.
So just a reserve tank, and he resets. Yeah, that sounds about right. So that's your Chozo. That is your Chozo reserve tank.
And
Super's at Ice. Okay.
There are 2 super missile packs. It's 10, 10, 5 for the.
Yep.
Okay. How many? You got 2 suits. 5 beams is 7. 3 others is 10. No, it's 4 others. It's 11. So it's 14, and then 3 boots. So it's 14 inventory items. Plus 4 tanks is 18. 20. I got to 23. Was that the right number?
So there are 6. Let's see.
Oh, I forgot. X-ray grapple. X-ray grapple are the other 2. Okay, so it's 25.
Yeah,
so 14, 14 menu items.
Right.
4 tanks is 18. 5 ammo is 19. No, 23. It's carry the 7 divided by Planck's constant. 25.
25. What I like to do is I look at the tracker, your tracker, in fact, and add up those items to get to 14, and the 2 grapple and X-ray to get to 16.
Oh, okay.
4 tanks gets to 20, and then the ammo gets you to 25.
Well, I was going by beam suit, boot, other. which is actually the way the tracker's kind of aligned. This is actually my layout on the stream here. So you see 5 beams at the top, and then the next row is 2 suits, and then you have like the sideways 7 is morph ball, screw attack, spring ball, morph bombs. Those are the other, and then the 3 boots on the bottom. In case you were curious why I laid it out that way. If you even knew I laid it out that way, if you cared, if you didn't, if you hate me for talking about it, I don't know.
I always like the way it was laid out because you had your what I think are the 3 most important items on top: your suits and your morph ball, your boots on the bottom, and then the 2 ball items and the screw attack in the middle.
Oh, so we have a bowling missile check from Pizza here.
He's
gonna have just enough power bombs to get out. Calculated, right? X-ray.
X-ray.
Shut up, buddy. He's might be the only microwaver on today's stream.
Well, Maisgueuh's still in our troop. You might go check that as too.
Maisgueuh's coming.
I don't know that X-ray was worth the time coming here. However, once you see it and you've already spent the time, you might as well pick it up.
Yeah, agreed.
Meanwhile, hell runs are going on Zeb's and Solski's screen. Solski's gonna go get that super missile at ice, and Zeb's gonna check out the speed booster location. So there's 1 fewer location to check here. Actually, 2 in a way. So Croc only has the 1 item at grapple beam, but it could be an important item. And the reserve tank is just gonna be a reserve tank, or just gonna be a reserve tank or an energy tank or an ammo item.
So Solski's doing some heck runs here. I wasn't paying attention to which E-tanks he picked up if they're in logic, but
yeah, Solski's missed at least 2 E-tanks, so everything he's doing is completely. Actually, he has 3 plus the reserve, so he's fine for that.
Yeah.
Interesting, he's checking
maybe
this item.
He might want an E-tank. It might just be habit. I don't know. Again, yeah, Solski's a big time combo runner, and in combo you gotta check everything. And in multi-world, when other people are depending on you to check everything and you miss stuff, then you get in trouble. And Solski will ban you, even though he's forgotten more things.
Yeah, Solski has an interesting history of forgetting interesting locations in SMC3.
Wait. There you go. Even has an emote named after it.
It's interesting that Zeb skipped that super missile. I mean, I know he's got charge beam and everything, but that's right in your path, and you're not.
Hey, you always like Spacer? Spacer? Wait, no.
So Gold Mountain was pretty much a bust.
Yeah, I mean, I'm skipping every super missile if I have charge plasma. I mean, I guess I want 10. I would maybe take 15, so I would have enough to crystal flash and then still enough to open doors.
Yeah, that's super.
Charge plasma, I don't see any reason to have more than 15.
That's super in particular, though. That doesn't save a lot of time for skipping. Is part of my point.
So where can we actually play this? I'm pretty excited about the new mode in Varia Randomizer. In fact, we do have another community race that's going to be at 7 Eastern time.
So if you didn't know about,
people want to join it. How are they going to join that race? How do we play this?
Well, to join the race, just look for the SRL room at about 6:30, 6:40 tonight. But if you want to play one on your own, you can go to the Varia Randomizer site. We do have one of those guys in the chat. If he wants to post that link, he can certainly do so. And you can go to Season Races Chozo, and it'll be this exact logic.
Nice.
And as for tonight, and I do want to emphasize this, these races, when we do the community races, these are even though all 4 of these runners are in the league, they are completely not for just league players. We not only we're not only open to non-league players, we actually encourage it.
Oh yeah, if you're not in the league, 7 p.m.
Yeah. So
but you have to be in the league to watch.
Just kidding. Yeah, in fact, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like we have 12 people running in this race, and I think only one of them is not in the league this time. And actually, the person not in the league was in the league last season. So.
Cyclone, you stay. You have to run the restream. Yeah. So yeah, and I also believe if you're not sure, hey, which items unlock which locations, the Varia website, you can actually load up a preset logic like season
Yep.
races and go to look at all the checkboxes and say, oh, okay, this requires 4 E-tanks or this requires space jump, and you know.
Yeah, and on the spreadsheet for the league, we've created a page on the spreadsheet that hopefully describes as best as we could all the logics within not just the Chozo randomizer, but just all the randomizers that we're using.
Yeah, we have some new people rolling in here. So once again, when we say Chozo randomizer, it's an item distribution mode that's pretty new. The old modes would either be major minor split, where majors are mixed with majors, minors are mixed with minors. Then there's also the full shuffle, where all 100 items are shuffled amongst each other. But in the Chozo mode, all of the major items are exclusive to 25 locations, being Morph Pedestal, boss rewards, and anything where a Chozo statue is holding the item. And by major item, we mean the 14 menu items, 2 on the hood, 3 E-tanks, 1 reserve tank, 2 missile packs, 2 super missile packs, and 1 power bomb pack. So add that up. It's 25 item locations, 25 items that get shuffled in, and all the remaining ammo E-tanks and reserve tanks are thrown into the other minor item location.
Yeah. In the meantime, Zeb went and got bombs at Grapple Beam. Not the best item in the world to go that far out of your way for, but it'll help with any kind of soft lock prevention. So it's a nice pickup, but probably not what he was looking for.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The main appeal of getting bombs would be for can fly. So they don't have speed booster, they don't have space jump. So they're going to be able to use the morph bombs to cover great vertical distances since they're short those 2 items. But what really is there? Like, is this flying option with the morph bombs going to be a bigger or lesser deal in Chozo mode?
It's an interesting question. Basically, the runners, once they all get their various suits, my guess is they're going to all go down to Lower Norfair. Zeb might have an advantage, though, because that gravity suit could be at the screw attack location, and he may be the only one that can get out of the screw attack location.
That's true. Yeah, until they get Spring Ball, Speed Booster, or Space Jump, that's going to be the option. So dang, what if morph bombs are okay? So there's the answer. Can morph bombs still be required at this point? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, it can be. There is no getting out of without one of those items. There is no getting out. There's no tricky wall jump. It's not like worst room in the game where it's a really hard wall jump, but it is a doable wall jump.
I should say by required, I mean if you really want gravity suit, which maybe you can do without it.
Yeah, that is a good point. They have the items to do suitless, so if they're comfortable with doing the Dragon part of suitless, and
they have a full suitless arsenal, not counting Spring Ball.
In fact, I know for a fact there's at least one runner that's not on the restream that will probably just do suitless. So I know Solski's comfortable doing suitless Dragon. I think Maisgueuh is as well, though I can't say for sure. Pete and Zeb, I'm not sure about. And basically, we're at that point in time where everybody's doing the checks that everybody else already did. We'll see who's the first to run down to Lower Norfair. And we'll see if any of the other runners choose to go get those bombs over at Croc. I think if it were me, I'm not sure I would check Croc. I would maybe save before going into screw attack and reset if I need to. And if it happens to be that gravity suit, then that's too bad. I'd have to go back and figure out what my can fly is. Although, worst room in the game, they have high jumps. So they can get through worst room.
Yeah. And they have charge ice. Which I think is in logic for season races, is it not? Charge ice, worst room in the game?
I believe so.
It takes a lot of practice, but once you get it down, it's not so bad. But if you're trying to figure it out on the fly, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, and there's a few different positions that you can put the Space Pirates in to do it as well.
Yeah, I usually just straight out kill the two at the bottom.
Yep.
Lay the power bomb, shoot a super missile, and then charge the top guy. But that's one situation where plasma might get you in trouble. All right, Solski's going to bowling room here. Doing a full clear on.
Yeah, don't let the versus words throw you. This is actually a community race, so it's just
It's also
nice
not
casual.
season 1.
Yeah, it is not season 1. We'll work on getting those displays.
We got 5 hours before the next race. Get on it.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, and hopefully some of you watching will be able to join us to actually
So
race.
So is Solski a major item now because there's a Chozo statue holding him?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'd say he is.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
So the nice thing here for Maisgueuh and Pete, because they got their Varia suit in Wreck Ship, they're going to be able to just go straight to Lower Norfair once they've decided they've checked everything.
Yeah, and I mean, even you always have to spend extra time in a suitless area, suitless Meridia, of course, and even Upper Norfair. I mean, just if you don't have the ammo to Crystal Flash or have a huge surplus of health, you always have to stop and farm, or you have to stop and take a safety save or save and reset.
Okay, Pete is going to go down to Lower Norfair right now. I hope he saves up here, because if he goes into that screw attack location without a save, and yeah, he's going to save. And it looks like Maisgueuh is also going to head down to Lower Norfair. I think this is a good play for these guys. It could bite them if the screw attack item is something that they want. In particular, if that screw attack item is gravity suit. And by my count, it's a 50-50 shot. That's not their count because they haven't checked the rest of Upper Norfair.
Oh right, because we're still suitless Meridia is in logic, but only for minor items.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Gravity in this version of the Chosen Randomizer, there's no places that gravity suit can be. But from their perspective, I like this play of going straight down. Pete fails at the super missile, so let's see. Looks like he's just going to give up on it. So unfortunately, we're not going to see what's there. But what'll happen to him most likely is he'll, if the gravity suit is there, if he doesn't get the gravity suit at Ridley, he'll probably full clear Upper Norfair, and then he'll have the bombs to get out at that point.
Yeah.
And Maisgueuh's not even gonna check.
Oh, there's a Chozo statue in Norfair Escape. So that's 3 locations. No. Gravity could be. Yeah. The missile pack, the Hoda Ruby missiles, I think they're called.
Nope. No, those are
not a Chozo statue.
That's not a Chozo statue.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Huh. Well, I'm fired.
No, you're not.
Tracy won't let me quit.
Nope. I might dock your pay, but you know.
Now I owe you money. I guess that's true. You couldn't Hoda Ruby special with the spring ball and speed booster because the stupid statue would get in your way.
Yeah, it would. that would ruin a great strat.
You just bounce off the dude's head. All right, we had a safety save from Maisgueuh here.
Good.
This is gonna put him in a rough situation if gravity is not on Ridley. Although,
yep.
Anyway, dying to Ridley would be worse still.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Microwave strats on the Ninja Pirates.
Yeah, and you don't actually need charge beam to microwave these guys.
Although I suspect maybe it's faster.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, obviously it's faster to charge because got a reserve tick, 20 energy left. Come on, Maisgueuh. There could be an E-tank back here. There are minor items.
Oh,
that's rough.
That save paying off.
I'm gonna say this again. I say it so often. The hardest trick in Super Metroid is spin jumping.
There are
You can see
times, yeah.
he went back and forth a couple times trying to get that spin jump so they could use screw attack, but just sometimes he just doesn't want to spin. Alright, so Pizza is going to be our first to fight Ridley here. Full beam combo is going to mean 20 shots. Has 4 E-tanks, but only Varia suit. Now, a good thing for Pizza to find here, obviously gravity suit's good, but a speed booster or space jump would also allow him to get the gravity. If the gravity happens to be at Gold Teresa, at screw attack.
Yeah, what speed booster would do for them is you can, if you have speed booster, screw attack, and high jump boots, you can jump from the energy refill room near screw attack and get a nice little wall jump out that'll let you get out of there.
Yeah, the jump's not too bad if you know how to line it up. Otherwise, they at least have the option of just killing GT and shine sparking, but not killing GT is faster, of course.
Oh, of course.
All right, here's the moment of truth for Pizza on the top right.
Oh, it's just
okay. So those morph bombs are required.
Oh,
it's either morph bombs or suitless Meridia is. So they're logically required, which puts Maisgueuh in a good spot on the restream here. However, as you said, he's probably going to do a full upper north air clear before coming back down. So on paper, he's got everything he needs, but in practice, he is not very likely to do the reverse amphitheater.
Yeah, this puts Zeb in a really nice position because he does have those bombs already, so he can go if he can already get out of the screw attack room. And for those who asked, the morph bombs were at at grapple beam.
Right, which is the logical way to escape the screw attack location, which we're now pretty certain is gravity suit. Unless we forgot something like... Waterway's not a Chozo. That's right.
Waterway's not a Chozo. We
checked man. Bad Ridley. What a meanie.
We've checked the 3 places in the wreck ship.
Oh, Solski's going to crack, so he'll be getting his morph bombs. I was thinking Solski might be the one to...
Solski having a little bit of fun with that grapple beam.
There is on the category extension board, there is a Kill Croc's Tongue RTA.
Yeah, the extension board has some really legit nice categories, things like max percent GT, but then it's got the things like Croc's Tongue and...
Don't forget about dashless 100%.
I kind of, well, that one I think is a little more real. I'm thinking more like things like grab by every yapping maw RTA, which is a category. Although I'm better at get caught by every vial plume.
I was going for any percent, but you know what? I'm on world record pace. Alright, so Solski, if you get some morph bombs... Oh, so Zeb is gonna go... Zeb didn't get the morph bombs, did he?
Zeb's the one who got him.
Oh, he did, okay. Oh, he was the first one to get him. That's right. But then he had to go back up to wreck ship. So yeah, Zeb is gonna have the advantage.
Better be the gravity suit, or otherwise I'm gonna be really upset. And there it is.
You got lucky. All right, so it would be go mode for Zeb, first runner on the restream.
Yeah, but he's gonna have. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you know what? Solski's taking the back way because he doesn't have speed booster. I think this is...
Yeah,
I guess everybody did that.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to go this way to get to the grapple beam item.
Yeah, because they don't have a way to get up there otherwise. Oh, Magoo! Yeah, our tracker Lunaris bring up a really good point. The Spring Ball, Spaceship, and Speed all in Meridia.
And those would be Plasma, Spring Ball, and Dragon.
Yeah,
So it could be Vanilla, Space, and Spring Ball.
It could be.
Hey, if it's Vanilla Spring Ball, I say worth. Shaq Tool gets to live if it's Spring Ball. Now wait a minute. You're saying Gravity Suit can't be at Spring? There are.
Yeah, I know.
There are ways to get to the Spring. In Vanilla, you would need Gravity to get to the Spring Ball item, but in Randomizer, because you actually, without Gravity, you actually need the Spring Ball to get to the Spring Ball location.
Yeah,
without Gravity.
It is possible to get to Spring Ball if you have.
If you're playing Tournament Logic combo Rando, you better know that.
Yeah, Space Jump, High Jump, Spring Ball,
Ice Beam,
Grapple. Yeah, you need all those. And let me tell you, it is not a fun thing to try and do.
It's fine. It's like many things in Super Metroid Randomizer. You got a swag Moon Tantrum Pizza. Like many things in Super Metroid Randomizer, it's not about difficulty. It's about how arcane is the knowledge. Like gravity jumping's really easy. Spring Ball jumping's really easy, but if you're someone who's just firing up Super Metroid for the first time, never watched a race, you're not gonna come up with that.
No, not at all. In fact, it continues to amaze me the things that people come up with for tricks in this game.
Pizza practicing his stuttering, but he doesn't have speed booster anyway. Oh, speaking of, I've been developing a strat to get Blue Suit at the bottom of that elevator, but it requires Crystal Flash ammo and speed booster.
Would this be added to the dashless run?
No, not at all. It involves actually charging a Shine Spark with speed booster.
Gotcha.
I mean, in a dashless run, I could just use the elevator. It's fine. But the only application that I could come up with so far is getting through worst room in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have anything, there's Solski's Gravity. He's in go mode. The only thing realistically that you would need, like if you happen to have speed booster, but then not have charge ice, morph bombs, spring ball, high jump boot, space jump, like not have anything else to get through worst room in the game, but you did happen to have speed booster, that would be useful.
Gotcha.
Until I figure out a way to use it to clip into GT missiles.
Now that could be useful. All right. Maisgueuh has Ridley down, and he won't be happy to see that E-Tank, but it will help him out because he's still pretty low on energy there.
Yeah, that's going to help him get through all the 100 damage Key Hunters and Skigas coming up.
Exactly.
Right. So Key Hunters are 100. The Skigas, I think, are going to be 80. I think they're 40 with Gravity, so it'd be 80 with Faria.
Is Zeb also going to pick up an E-Tank?
And if you don't know what a Skiga is, it's one of those purple frogs with the fuzzy leg warmers. I want to start a petition to get the no wait.
Yeah, Zeb did skip the E-Tank. He's a little bit better off than Maisgueuh is.
You know how they have the 3 Musketeers?
Yep.
In Lower Norfair Escape? So there's a room with 4 Key Hunters, in Kraid's Lair, the room with the 4 Key Hunters. I'm going to start a petition to get them named the Marx Brothers. And
like that.
And the 3, I think they've been called the 3 Amigos.
Yeah, we've had a few different opinions on the Key Hunters and the Red Key Hunter Shaft.
Yeah, the Red Key Hunter Shaft. Those are the 3 Stooges.
I think that's
actually where I got Marx Brothers, because we had the 3 Musketeers, Key Hunter Shaft. I want to start a petition to get them renamed 3 Stooges, and then the Key Hunters in Kraid's Lair can be the Marx Brothers, because there's 4 of them. Even though there's like 5 Stooges, but
Yeah.
whatever. Who's counting?
At least, yeah, and there's technically 4 Musketeers.
There's only every 3 at a time, but there's 5 of them. At least, there's 5 that I know of. It's like Beatles. There's actually 6 of them. But then like George Martin also is really more of a Beatle than like Pete Best, right? Which one's Zeppo? The one nobody thinks about is Zeppo. I'm sorry. Zeppo had a role. You had to have a straight man.
Okay, everybody's got their bombs with Magoo. Magoo's gonna have to check these upper northern locations. Hopefully he remembers to go get that croc location.
Yeah, and I guess he's still, like we said, still a pretty new mode, still feeling out where all the locations are.
Yep,
There's
and
a
that's the whole...
handy-dandy list on our spreadsheet.
Yep. But in general, that's the whole point of playing these Chozo races now in the weeklies, because we are going to be playing them in the actual league in a few weeks. So get people used to them, either just by watching or by playing. Either way, I think it's a good idea to. The idea was to go ahead and get people used to them, and that should help. So there'll probably be more of these in the next few weeks.
Nice. And like we said, there is going to be another one at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight.
Yep.
That's in about 5 hours. And I might join that one. We'll see what other obligations I have. And Pizza just grabbed his gravity suit and his go mode.
Oh, that's different. I'm used to seeing people throw that power bomb right as they get in there. Right? I liked what Pete did there. Maybe he wasn't quite ready with the power bomb, so he just froze all the enemies there and then laid the power bomb to get this, just to farm some of those super missiles.
Yeah, I've done that before when I didn't know. Wait, did Pizza already kill Ridley?
Yeah.
Or did he forget?
Did he?
Oh.
It's not marked on the tracker, but I thought he did. But I'm not sure. Okay, I'm hearing in chat that he did.
Okay.
Okay, to answer the
Everybody's
question
killed
about
Ridley,
I see a question about how to sign up for these tournaments. So these races right here are not tournaments. All you gotta do is show up in the SRL room to play. You don't have to do anything else. We only can restream 4 people, of course. As far as the league goes, it is a 10 weeks, including 1 week off, so 9 races total league. That's already started, but we do have a reserve list in case people drop. So if you get on the league Discord, you can go ahead and sign up as a reserve at any time. Okay, Zeb, the first one into Meridia, and I don't think he's gonna check very much, although you might check behind Dragon. Oh, Pete gonna show off the new
Don't
tech.
freeze him. Don't freeze him.
So that's a newer technique that was found, I want to say, about January of this year.
Yeah, I remember Rasu actually showing it off to me at AGDQ,
Yep.
so that sounds about right.
And basically, I don't know if I can explain this quite right. There are these garbage blocks that you shoot out with. You have to have either wave plasma or wave spacer. And you shoot out those garbage blocks, and then you can actually just go right through the blocks in that hallway. You can only do it from left to right, though, so it can't be done from right to left.
Yeah, and you can't do it by holding down the shot because you'll shoot them too slow. But fun fact, if anyone was curious, you probably aren't, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. You can actually do reverse frogway without dashing. I believe arm pumping is required in that situation, but it's still pretty clean and easy. Just boop.
And Magoo decides to take the E-Tank at Croc. He'll get his bombs shortly, which will allow him to get to go mode. Pizza showing off some gravity jumping.
Maybe he wants to do a full suitless. Yeah, I guess gravity jumping's gonna be the best option here. Unless you're quick on your grapples.
Yeah, they could do the intended method of grappling across, but that kind of sucks.
But the intended method was to shine spark. Just kidding. That's why they
No,
put those blocks up there.
yeah. The speedrun method is to shine spark, of course.
Yep, and Zebs doesn't have the X-ray scope, so he's gonna have to. He's got some options on killing Dragon. He's at least gonna start with a plasma shot.
Yeah, in this situation, I like to take
9,
plasma shots until because he's got
7.
the grapple beam.
It's gonna take 7
Yep.
7 charge shots.
I believe that's right.
Yeah,
I like
it's
to.
6,000 divided by 900 damage. 7.
Yeah, I tend to like to do charge shots until I get caught like this, and then switch to the grapple beam.
Appears to be what Zeb is doing here.
Pete does not want those super missiles, so he's gonna come in from behind here. And speed booster behind Dragon. So that's probably, of the items that they're missing, probably the most useful one.
True. Made that room escape a lot easier. Saved him a couple pauses, at least.
Yeah. And looks like Pete gonna go in for his Dragon. Solski not far behind. Maisgueuh gonna go take those bombs and get his gravity suit. Yeah, Spring Ball is still out there. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna see any Spring Ball in this seed. Zeb's
We can always watch the credits and find out if it was vanilla.
Pete showing off the microwave. And Maisgueuh got a lava dive back in to go get his gravity suit.
So Pete's gonna skip speed booster. Solski is still considerably behind him, but if he picks up speed booster, I think that would be a slight time save, at least an escape. But I don't think it's gonna be quite enough, and we get to see if Solski picks it up.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's 3 locations, and all three items are useful. So I probably would check. Like I said, speed booster being the most useful of the 3 left. Spring Ball doesn't, as much as I love Spring Ball, really doesn't do that much for the runners at this point.
Yep, got a little high five here between Solski and Pizza.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, speed booster's not gonna make up that much ground.
No. Space jump would help get through this room that Solski's going through right now in reverse, but of course it's not there. Hate to say it, but Spring Ball seems like the least useful in this situation.
What are you talking about? I guess you couldn't Blue Bomber if you didn't have Speed Booster anyway.
No, you'd have to have both.
So, alright, here we go. Gravity Suit and Go Mode for Maisgueuh.
And Zeb running into the reserve tank, forgetting it. That is a common occurrence when you skip that item. Zeb showing his displeasure with his super missile. I didn't realize he had skipped it the first time, and I'm not sure if he forgot to look at it or if he just
I think he did a full gauntlet, and just whoops. But it's not a major item. Why would you?
That's a good point.
Yeah, Wreck Ship E-Tank location was the major reserve, but then there's still 3 minor reserves. Oh, we got a little hybrid strat from Pizza, did a gravity jump. Or oh, he didn't get the speed booster.
Yeah,
so
he didn't check the item behind Dragon.
And Solski did.
And Zeb so far doing a nice job in the first Metroid room, or first 3 Metroid rooms. He's now to the 4th one. Maisgueuh leaving Lower Norfair with his gravity suit. Quite a bit behind because he went straight down to Lower Norfair without bombs. And then had some issues trying to kill Ridley.
Let me think. If I didn't... Oh, you know what? Lower Norfair flash suit would be pretty useful in this mode.
You know, and I just realized that Maisgueuh was the one that never picked up Plasma Beam. He did not check... he never checked the Spore Spawn location. And I don't know if he just forgot that was going to be an item, or if he just decided he didn't want to take the time to get it. Looks like he did pick up that Spazer Beam, though.
Oh. Good try, Solski.
Maisgueuh also going to show off the tech, this time with Spazer Wave. Although I think he might have Wave turned off for some reason. Oh no, he's got it. And there he goes through. There you go.
Yeah, he wanted to Golden Slumbers Ridley or something. I don't know. Yeah, so 25 items, again, are 14 on the menu. The 2 on the HUD is 16. 5 ammo packs is 21. And 4 tanks is 25.
Yep. Ten, 5, and 2, 2, 1 is the same thing.
Lunaris just wrote them. Lunaris actually wrote 2 PBs. He wrote them the numbers in the right order, but the type in the wrong order.
Gotcha.
But shout out to Lunaris, doing an awesome job tracking our restream today, keeping us honest on 4 runners. I can barely run a tracker for myself, let alone 4 different people.
I'm terrible running a tracker for myself. You just see me trying to do SMZ3. That's okay, Lunaris. I usually forget to track my Super Metroid bosses. That's why I don't track when I just do SM, only when I do SMC3, because Link to the Past is too big for me not to track. And my experience with it is a lot less. Okay. Zeb into Mother Brain 2. 20 shots with the full beam combo. I did not see if he took off various suits, so I think he's maybe not going for stand-up. Oh, he did jump. We'll see. Oh no, he left his energy at the high point, so it looks like he is going to go for stand-up.
All right. Took the double hit. It's good. Needed to get down to 99. Now here's where space jump is useful. If you're lazy and you don't want to wall jump to stay in the air, not get locked down.
No, there's specific points where you need to jump, so you could just wait for those specific points, but that can be
but I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say it
I
get a little scary.
I know the points are when the Metroid appears on screen and when the Metroid detaches from other brain set are the points. But even though I know what they are, I don't know when to look for them.
Yeah.
Did Maisgueuh kill Dragon?
Yep.
Okay.
Blink and you missed it. Did not pick up space jump. Or sorry, did not pick up a speed booster though. It's like half our runners picked up that speed booster and the other didn't.
Yeah, although he has the knowledge. Maisgueuh has the knowledge of the ice beam.
He's going to pick up that ice beam now. I did not. You know what? I didn't actually see. Wait a minute. Did he?
Oh no, because
Maybe
Speed
he might
Booster's
not have.
behind Dragon.
You
So
know
he
what? I
needs
don't think
this
he
Ice
did.
Beam.
I don't think he did
No,
get Dragon because unless
he
he
has to
crystal
get.
flash clipped,
But he only has 10 power bombs. So
and he didn't crystal flash clip. So
So
Dragon
yeah,
is not dead.
he had to peace out to get Ice Beam so he could go to fight Dragon because Speed
Oh, that's
Booster
rough.
was trollfully behind Dragon.
That's rough. Cause yeah, Magoo didn't get that second power bomb pack. So he knew that the Ice Beam was there because he checked it, but he only had one power bomb pack and he didn't have enough to get out. So he's gonna have to go back to Dragon and go back through and do that. Yeah, he's the reason why he's got Spazer. Everybody else skipped it, but Magoo didn't go to the Spore Spawn Supers, and that's where Plasma was. Everybody else picked up Plasma.
Which didn't help with his Ridley woes. Plasma packs a punch. All right, we are in the final stretch of the run for Zeb316.
Yep.
Has the climb in the parlor and the pushing down on the ship without crouching, which is the hardest part of any Super Metroid run, as you may
Yeah,
know.
and in the end, Zeb's choice to go check Ranomizer, even though it's only one item in this version of the randomizer, I believe was the difference here. Everybody else didn't check it. In some cases, went into Lower Warfare without those bombs, had no way to get out of screw attack, and so they were late to that gravity suit.
Kills the animals, and there's a dot time done.
And official SRL time of 101.24. GG to Zeb.
And we actually have a pretty close race still between Pizza and Solski.
Yeah, they're both about to start their stand up. Oh wait, did Solski not set up for stand up?
Doesn't look like he's set up for anything. I don't know. He didn't damage himself down enough anyway. Maybe he forgot to turn off Varia. Maybe he had. Oh, he doesn't have enough energy to stand up. What? Yeah, you need 7 E-tanks. With the credits rolling up on Zeb's stream, once the credits finish and we get to the stats, we'll get to see whether Shaq Tool had Spring Ball or Space Jump.
Never mind. Looks like Zeb's gonna join us for an interview. There we go. Hey Zeb, GG. Nicely done. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
Ah, there you go. I see you. I hear you.
Okay.
Yep. So the big difference. First of all, well played. So
you.
do you know what the big difference was? You think?
I'm guessing other people checked upper wreck ship.
No.
No.
I mean, that wasn't the big difference. You went and got your bombs at Croc.
Oh my! Oh yeah, you can't get out of them. I thought the Croc was a waste, but yeah, you couldn't get out of screw attack then.
So it's just what everybody else did when they went down to Lower Warfare is they went and did Ridley, and then had to go back get those bombs and go back to get their gravity suit.
Yeah. Wow. About that. Yeah.
So Croc being the play.
Croc was the play. Always been on Croc. Good. Upper wreck ship.
And we have Pizza finishing up in second place with an official SRL time of 104.27.
Yep, Solski right on his heels. 3 rooms to go, plus the ship.
Yeah, so what was in the upper wreck ship?
Nothing. The
I
reserve
forget.
tank?
Nothing. Yeah, those.
And I think an
forget.
E-tank, actually.
So
Well, there was a reserve tank at wreck ship E. I don't know what was at bowling missiles. But it
At that
wasn't
time-
anything.
it felt like I made a lot of bad decisions with going to Croc and going down and whatnot, so I kind of wanted to try to save time. I also forgot that suitless isn't possible with this logic.
Yeah, I mean it's possible to do, and you know there are players that I think might have done it rather than go back for that gravity suit, but it's never going to be in logic, so you're never going to find your suit there.
Which is nice, actually, because if you're like, oh, I'm doing Suitless Meridia, you just be like, all right, I'll just kill Dragon. I don't have to look for anything.
Yeah, I was... Given the items that we got early ice, grapple, what else? High jump. The seed to me.
Yeah, because you got high jump. I mean, you had all the items for it except spring ball.
I probably should have checked upper wreck ship, because if gravity was there, it would have been horrendous for me.
Yeah. but I don't blame you for not.
But it worked out.
It's a risk. It's a risk. It's one of the risks we take.
Yeah, before going to Croc, I kind of sat there for a little while in Bubble Mountain, just kind of thinking about, because I'm not used to this logic either.
Yeah, that's the whole reason
I was trying to think
we're
of all the
playing
different
these.
places.
Yeah, that's the whole reason we're playing these, is to get people used to this logic, so that when they actually have to compete with them, then you won't be having people just trying to go around not knowing what they're doing. So
yeah, it feels like there are a lot fewer locations with this logic.
Yeah, 25 versus I want to say 34. But you're not finding E-tanks all the time, so I guess there's a little bit of difference there. Okay, looks like Solski's also going to join us. Hey, Solski, GG, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. First of all, well played. You and Pete were really close there at the end, so... and I think we ended up with the top 3. Did we end up with the top 3? Yeah, we did. We ended up with the top 3 on Restream. I'm not sure how I managed that.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Wow. Good choices. So you heard it here first, folks. Tracy fixed the race.
That's right.
Yeah, so what did you do, Solski? What kind of route did you take?
Bad route. Like, I just felt really shaky in the first 10 minutes. I couldn't get the ceiling E-tank after like 2 tries, so I said heck it. And I went down like Brendan Norfair, and I had like the E-tanks, but I didn't have the health after ice. So I was like, you know what, just go to wreck ship. I only have 3 outs in Norfair, so I went up wreck ship, got Varia, and then took it back down.
Going up to wreck ship was probably good for you then.
Oh yeah. And then because of the logic how it works, I knew that screw attack couldn't be gravity unless I hit a campfly, so that's why I checked upper first. And I really wanted to go lower Norfair first, but I didn't like the 50-50 between Ridley and screw attack, and then it ended up being screw attack with the bombs required and grapples. So yeah, it was pretty neat. So
do you see where space jump and spring ball were?
No, it just passed on my stream, but I missed it.
Yeah, they have to be at Shaq Tool and Plasma, I believe.
Yeah, spring ball was vanilla, actually.
Spring ball was vanilla, so then space would have been at Plasma then.
Yep.
Because there's no other...
Yeah, it's just passing on the restream now for Solski. Spring ball.
Yeah, I mean, some of you checked behind Dragon and some of you didn't. And at that point, you had the 3 items you could get were all useful items, although I'm not sure Spring Ball saves that much time. Speed Booster probably saves enough time to be worth, and Space Jump is probably, I'm going to say, an even. Just because you can then Space Jump across Coliseum.
I checked because I figured if it were Space Jump or Speed, it was probably worth it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think there were that many locations or that many items that could have been left.
Yeah, I believe that was the only 3. That was it.
Yeah,
3 locations, 3 items.
That's why I checked it too. It was, I would have taken any item anyways. So I was like, and it was the best one. I was like, hell yeah. So it's good.
So what do you? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Seeds, it's probably going to be a lot less of ammo hunting because I feel like you're going to find charge and beams a lot more often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the beginning. I feel like there's that point in a major minor split where you have to make a decision. Do I search hard for a charge beam, or do I go ammo instead? And here you have fewer places to find the charge beam, so it seems like and those ammo locations can also be e-tanks and don't necessarily help you at that point. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to be more beneficial to search for that charge beam.
That's probably the scarier thing, is just the E-tank situation, right? Because it plays into Norfair Hell Run logic. So like it's that major minor, but then you can be passing up good locations that might have like 2 or maybe even 3 E-tanks if you pass on minor locations. So that's going to be the challenge, I think, with Chozo. The ammo are all right. I do like how you're going to find charge quick in it, but again, that's going to be, I think, the big play when it comes down to it to a lot of these seeds. So.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how some people play these seeds, because, the idea being with all the things you need to beat the game being at these 25 locations, I could see people really skipping a lot of those minor items and trying to go with that bare minimum. And we should see how that works out.
That was my strategy to start with. I checked a lot of kind of non-Chozo item locations near the beginning. As that so especially in Green Brinstar with the Edicoons, I was going to skip that, but then I realized I would be like have no power bombs if I skipped that location, so I figured I may as well check it.
Sure.
Items are like kind of more convenient.
Yeah, it's also going to be see how much muscle memory comes into play. People just automatically perhaps going down to Edicoons because they're so used to that being the next check.
Yeah, we were actually wondering if Pizza, or no, was it Zeb? Zeb, did you do Gauntlet first and skip Terminator, the reserve tank?
I skipped the reserve tank and I picked it up at the end.
Yep.
Okay, but did you check it?
Happened.
We weren't sure if you actually even checked it because it's a minor item location in this. When you came
I was
out
thinking about skipping it.
It's
like,
like,
what's funny is
don't even waste the 2 door transitions.
But if you haven't done that once, where you've run into that item at Terminator on your way back to Mother Brain, you haven't played enough randomizers.
There's actually a Super Metroid puzzle where that's kind of a troll.
And of course, shouting out.
I won't say which one because if you're interested in doing Super Metroid puzzles, then.
Yeah, in the next 2 off the restream, we have Sloters finishing up with a 110.12 in 4th place, and Phoenix Down finishing in 5th place with a 112.38. So, GG to those guys.
GG. Wonder what happened to make Sloters finish with a 110.
I'm gonna guess he went suitless.
Of course he did.
And just say, I'll have to ask him later. But
if you went Wreck Ship first, got Varia, then just skipped everything, because all of your grapple ice were early, high jump was early, that's all you need. So if you just are, as soon as you get that Varia suit, you're like, zoop, I feel like Suitless Meridian wouldn't slow you down that much, but he could have maybe combined the heck runs with the Suitless Meridia.
I remember there was a race, I think, where Sloters finished with a sub 50 doing complete Suitless Meridia. But...
yeah, he's very good at it. Maisgueuh, meanwhile, heading towards the end of Torian. Maisgueuh had a little bit of issue with Ridley, and then he fully did Lower Norfair before getting his bombs, and he also had to go back and get the gravity suit after he got bombs.
Yeah, and without having gravity suit or charge beam or really that many E-tanks for Ridley, had a bit of a trifle.
Yeah,
that's the word.
It's one of those words. Just pick.
We have
but don't pick
Dorkmaster
truffles.
Fleck.
That's poaching.
Yeah, and finishing in 6th place with an official SRL time of 1:14.17, Dorkmaster Fleck.
I think after I picked up all the beams, I accidentally ran into 4 different super missiles.
But there would have been mostly minor item locations.
I know I didn't mean to grab them on Moat.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
There are a couple of other locations I can't remember though.
Yeah, well, there's some places where it's just kind of almost harder to skip them, like the spot right before Wave Beam. I find that spot really hard to skip anyway, so it's, you know.
I managed to skip that one.
I skipped that one so hard that I fell the first time. That was amazing. I still can't process how that happened.
Yeah, Maisgueuh also never found his plasma beam, so he's doing using all his supers first.
Yeah, he left Varia suit on when he paused to turn off screw attack for Zeb skip, left the Varia suit on. So
Yeah, so
What's
he probably
plasma
won't
beam
use-
again?
at Spore Spawn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's probably another thing that learning muscle memory kind of doesn't. You can like on because it's normally a minor item location.
Yep.
Yep, that
Right.
and alpha PBs in particular are places that you don't normally go unless you're on an ammo hunt, especially the Spore Spawn one.
I just about skipped 230 missiles because I forgot that it was a major.
Yeah, or had the potential. Yeah. Slaughter's saying he did not do Suitless, so so something else got him. All right, Maisgueuh finishing up. Looks like he is setting up for stand up. Not sure how much that saves without plasma beam though.
Always save good 2 seconds.
I mean, even if you don't shoot her a single time, technically save time by directing the baby into the onion rings.
Oh, there you
Imagine being able to do stand up.
Yeah, so you guys want to talk about how you feel about these upcoming races when we get to the 5th week of the season and we start trotting out the Chozo stuff for Chozo Rando for all the league races.
Kind of excited to do something different. Like normally you just see the major minor all year, or like all.
All season, yeah.
The fact that it's going to be changing up, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. Learn Chozo logic and like try not to fall into muscle memory from major minors.
Can't wait for full item rando. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's kind of what you're used to with the SMZ3.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for
Just check everything.
I can't wait for Suitless Dre guy. I actually
you'll see a lot
I
more.
did a full suitless in my week 1 race anyway. Like I don't even remember. Oh, I know what it was. Gravity was at Waterway. But we had early speed booster, but no power bombs until Croc
right,
and
that's
Bubble
always the
Mountain.
worst.
I hate no power bombs. Like
No
Yeah.
problem. Ugh. Yeah, I had a nice late power bomb seed myself. That was not very much fun. It was late
Yeah.
power bombs and late supers where you had to know to go to Gauntlet to get your bombs, to get your super missiles to be out because you couldn't go all the way through with just screw attacks. So yeah, it was ugly.
Was my week 1C was like double suitless required. It was Varia, I think it was Varia Mama Turtle into ice at in Lower Norfolk.
Yeah, we've had some interesting things come up in the first few weeks. So I'm kind of looking. I'm also just because of some of that. I think we might get a little less of. I think in general the Chozo races are meant to be a little bit faster in general. I think they will.
Yes. You'll definitely see much less suitless.
Okay, Maisgueuh's almost done. Also finishing up, we have NDS finishing up in 7th place with an official SRL time of 1:17:37.
And don't forget, guys, we are having another big community race later tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's about 4.5 hours from now. Probably be. Is it on one of the speed gaming channels?
I want to say it's on Speed Gaming, but let me double check. It is on a speeding. It is definitely a speed.
Oh yeah, and also thank you, Miss Metroid. We have we were talking a little bit about this and saying
Yeah, I was about to
Solski
get
was a
to
runner
that.
of this. The Super Metroid Zelda 3 combo rando, which combines what you're seeing here with a Link to the Past randomizer. There's a big community race coming up in about 30 minutes.
Yep, that'll be on this channel right after, like 30 minutes after we're done. That'll be a spoiler race, so definitely tune into that. You gonna run that, Solski?
Normally Don't.
Yeah, I don't do the spoiler races myself because I need more items than you're gonna get in a spoiler race. At which point, what's the point of having the spoiler log if you're just
And
picking
then
up
where could they
everything anyway?
possibly be?
Yeah, exactly. So, and Maisgueuh finishing up with in 8th place with an official SRL time of 1:19:04, and Link finishing up in 9th, 64-bit Link finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:20:08.
Hi Tracy, everyone.
Hey, Maisgueuh, how you doing?
Maisgueuh.
Hi.
I'm exhausted. I played really bad. So mad about this.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice seed, actually.
Yeah, that for you, the Ridley. I think Ridley was what got you the most, I would say.
Yeah, I waste so much time. I was confident on this fight and screwed up like twice.
Hmm. And then it didn't
Not
help
in
that you
my
had to go
event.
back and get those bombs. So Zeb here was the one that made the Galaxy Brain play of going and getting those bombs right away.
Always
Oh,
bet on
nice.
Croc.
Yep, he's the only one that went to Croc right away. So Solski came close with that, but he went wreck ship first. But then went and did the Croc bar before heading down to Lower North. So
Every one of you guys found the plasma. I guess it was at Spore Spawn.
yep.
Yep.
So question:
I was stuck.
Did you forget that location, or did you just skip it?
I had to skip it. I found I an extra PB and I farmed like for
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes and okay, just skip it.
Oh yeah, because you were the one that only had the 1 pack of power bombs, which forced you to go back to get that ice beam.
Yeah.
Everybody else picked up a second power bomb pack before they got up there, so that hurt you as well.
What's the second
Most
power bomb
crazy.
pack at Bullet MB?
I think so. Yeah, like the first one was in the Chozo location, and then I think the second one was Old Mother.
Might be.
So yeah, I always like to try and check enough to get to that, to get into Gauntlet. So doesn't always happen,
And,
but
as well, I skipped the ice beam, the gauntlet, because I didn't have this second extra pack
Oh,
of
yeah.
power bomb. So I knew it was there, and thought, okay, I don't need the ice beam except to go to Meridia.
Yep.
So time to go to Meridia and still no speed booster. So okay.
yeah, the ice beam was
That's a
forced
huge
because
backtrack.
yeah, because Dragon had your speed booster. So
Indeed.
but anyway, it was a fun seed to watch, you guys. Thank you all for racing. I think
Thank you very much.
we're gonna get out of here now and let them set up for the SMZ3. So hopefully you all stay tuned for that and then come back. I guess I was checking on to see where that race tonight is gonna be. It is gonna be on Speed Gaming 4. So hopefully some of you will join us for that, and hopefully some of you watching will say, "Oh, I want to try that," and go ahead and join the race at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Remember, you do not need to be a member of the league in order to race. You just need to want to play. So,
Sounds good.
all right. Any last words before we go?
Murphy's theory.
I hit my jump button. I don't care what anyone else says.
Put it on L.
No, no.
I like my angle up and my angle down.
I don't
Oh,
need
I
it.
see you next time.
The only thing
Enjoy the season.
The only thing I need angle down for is to get a flash suit on the lower North Air elevator.
Of course you do.
All right. Anything else anyone want to add before we say goodbye or say see you later? Because we'll all see you for some other really cool action coming up.
Say goodbye.
All
No,
right.
thanks. Shout outs again to Linares for tracking, and I believe Cyclone was restreaming for us today, or was it
Cyclone and Mr. Broadstone?
and Mr.
Mr.
Broadstone?
Broadstone, we're I believe tag teaming on the restream.
All right, cool. Thanks to everybody working behind the scenes. Make sure you check out the league, and I'm excited about SMZ3 and the 7 o'clock race tonight. So I'll see you guys around.
All right.
Hey, thanks Tracy for commenting. I can't wait to race against you because we are in the same group.
Oh,
this
that's
season.
right. That'll be fun.
Goodbye.
Yeah. See you later.
Okay, then. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Yep, and we'll see you in just a little bit.